Hey everybody, it's Dawn from Glory Grace Life, and I am doing an unboxing and putting together of a Temu purchase. It's in this big box right here, and it is a nesting box for my chickens. I've been having some trouble with them eating eggs and then not laying as well, so we're going to do this unboxing, and hopefully it's going to be a nice one. It's metal. It's got 6 nests and sloped roof, so they can't sit on top of it anymore and sleep. And it's the roll away, so the eggs roll into the little basket thing in front. And hopefully I can figure out how to put it together, because it's obviously in pieces. And whoop, 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 whoop. Notice anything? Chopped my hair off today. I was like, I've been thinking about it for a while, and I decided it was finally time. So I just took my braids and chopped it off at my braids, and it still needs a little bit of touching up, but so far so good. I got my curlies going, so let's see if I can get into this box and get this thing put together. I'm hoping it doesn't require any more tools than a screwdriver and a wrench, but we'll find out. Now I'm like way back here. Maybe I should scoot up some. I haven't filmed outside in over a year, and I haven't ever done an unboxing putting together video. So hopefully the wind is not going to be too bad. The traffic is going to be, because of where I live. Guys and girls are getting off from work, so you're going to see cars going by. I'm sitting in my driveway next to my chickens, so you're going to get to hear the chickens as they're talking to each other and carrying on. I just gave them a little bit extra food, so let's get into it. Got my bottle of water. Y'all got a bottle of water? Get you one, sit down and enjoy. And hey, according to my analytics, I have a lot of people watching my videos that aren't subscribed. So please, if you enjoy my videos, please subscribe and like and share. And especially, if you know somebody that's got chickens and they're having trouble, or if you want to watch one of my wig videos, I'm getting ready to do a total wig haul video, just of all of the different ones I've bought, and the one that I have most recently that I have not shared except for on Facebook. And so I'm hoping to get that one up. I may do it today. I don't know. Depends on how long this thing takes, because you can see how big it is. And I really need to mow my yard. So if I get done with this and then I have time, I'll probably at least get my front yard mowed. I have 2¼ acres here, and the grass grows really fast. So I may have to mow tonight. So hopefully I can get this thing figured out and put together. Get my knife out. This was my little Mother's Day gift several years ago from the boys at Tractor Supply. It's a real tree. I love it because I can do it with one hand. And it probably needs to be sharpened. It's been a bit. Ah, there it goes. I don't know how to even open. This is the weirdest box. Let's see. I hope y'all can forgive me for not making a video in a while. We've been trying to get some work done out here in the yard, and there's a lot of pruning and weeding, and we don't have I have a weed eater that I have to, one of the totem kind, but I haven't tried to get it running yet this year. And I have one that I absolutely love. I have it in an older video from when we bought it. It's a walk behind weed eater. If y'all have not had one of those and you have any kind of health issues to where it's hard to tote a weed eater, you should try getting a walk behind. Being a single woman, I don't really know how to winterize stuff, and I don't know if that's why it wouldn't start the next spring, because it worked great, and then I tried to get it to run and it wouldn't start. And I really, really like it because it's not a weed eater that you have to wind the bobbin. It's just a weed eater that you get this special string that's in sections. You have to loop it, So you put it in 2 pieces and you just go to town, and it will get like bigger, heavy stuff that a regular weed eater can have a hard time with without a blade. I wish I could put a blade on it for saplings and things, but this box is really weird, y'all. So I might have to disappear for a minute, but I'm here. I got my mic on. I hope you can hear me. I don't have another table other than the one I've got my camera sitting on. Let me set those there. Hi. Okay. There. Oh, it was on my foot. It's gonna be pretty and red. I got the red one. They had red and green with like regular, I guess you just say stainless color metal, but it's got little red accents. So, probably should have tried to do this on the ground, but I'm old. And I don't do so great getting up and down off the ground. So, there's that. Especially with menopause. Hey, I know that there's several of us ladies going through that right now that I watch and everything. And it's a whole ordeal. I never knew it could affect joints. And already having arthritis and fibromyalgia, and then getting menopause that affects joints. On top of all that, it's no fun, y'all. Especially a hip joint. There's a thing about menopause and a hip joint. So ladies, if you're having hip joint issues, shoulder joint issues, and you're of menopause age, it might very well be menopause. Hear that weird sound? That's my chickens. They make this like purring sound when they're like, what's going on? Something's weird happening. It's one of the roosters. I have 4 roosters. Thankfully, they all get along for the most part. My older roosters I've had in the past did not. But these guys don't seem to fight and carry on. I've got 12 girls. So maybe 12 girls between 4 boys is enough. I know it's typically, they recommend more. Hear that? That's the, everybody be watching. There's something going on. It's okay, y'all. It's just me. It's just me. Maybe in a minute after we get some of this work done, I'll try to catch one. I have a favorite, but she's not really into being caught. Okay, let's do this. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I need a table. This box would be great for storing photos in or something. Okay. Whoop. There's one piece. This is the, I think this is the little hatch that you raise up and down for the eggs. Because the eggs will all roll to the front. It's angled. And the eggs will roll to the front, and I'll lift them up, and that way they can't eat them. And they'll stay cleaner because they won't be like getting one laid and then another chicken coming in and laying on top of that one, stepping all over the other egg. And so hopefully, I've wanted these since I first learned about them after getting chickens, because it's been, I think this year was 12 years or 13 since I started raising chickens. And they're not necessarily inexpensive. I really don't want to scratch it, but I gotta lay it down. That's for sure. It depends on the feed you buy. You can get less expensive feed, like Walmart carries a 16 or 17% feed for like $18 a bag or something like that. But oftentimes when you feed a lower protein feed, they can slack off on laying more often than if you feed them a better quality feed. So currently, and I'm going to do a haul on it next time I order. I wanted to do it this time, and I just was not in the place to do that. I'm waving my rhyme. Sorry. But I wanted to do a haul on my Chewy order to show you guys, and I didn't this month. So hopefully next month I'll do a haul on Chewy, because that's how I get my chicken feed. I wish I could afford to get feed for my dogs from Chewy, but I can't afford any of the dog feed on Chewy. I get my dog feed from Walmart, but because I have some skin issues, allergy, ear issues, something going on, so I have to, we've started doing grain-free, and so I have to find one that I can afford. Traffic. And right now that is from Walmart. We were getting it from Yugo, and oh, this is like all like weirdly, what's this in there? Okay, get that one out. Okay, this is another piece. I don't know, y'all. I might end up having to be like, okay, we're just going to chat for a little bit, and then the boys and I are going to figure out how to put this together, and then I'll show you when it's done, because it's got a lot of pieces. Okay, there's 2 of those that match, so maybe those are the, here, let me try to avoid the styrofoam sound. Okay. Now there's 2 of those. I bet these may very well be the egg tray that goes on the front, where they'll, let me raise that up, where they'll roll out of the nest into this. Maybe that's what that is. It looks like the same size as the red pieces. Okay. We have packing material. I do not have a selfie stick yet, so that would probably be better for showing this. I don't have one yet. I'm hoping I can go to Five Below next month and find one, because I'm really wondering, maybe y'all can tell me in the comments, do the selfie sticks with the little remote buttons, do those pause video, or do they just take pictures? I wanted to use my actual little memory card camera, little camcorder that I bought, and I thought it still had a charge on it, but it didn't. So hopefully next time I do a video, I'll try that one. I've got some sun peeking through the trees, making me look weird. Oh, instructions, hallelujah. Oh, ow. I can't reach them, I'm too short. Okay, instructions. Are they in English? Yes. Hallelujah. They're actually all in English. See how many little parts is in this thing? Lots of little parts. Some of my people going by might think I'm crazy. They've not seen me out here recording in about a year. And that was sitting over in my garden spot next to my chickies whenever I had some chickies in the brooder. Yeah, this is, okay, what does it tell me I need? Does it tell me? Shows a screwdriver and nuts. Does it come with, oh, it comes with the tools. Yay, y'all. Somewhere in here. It says there's 1 screwdriver and 1 Allen wrench, I think is what that is. Okay, so lay those down. I really need a table. What do you do first? Upon receiving the product, could you please confirm if all the parts are complete? I gotta get everything out so that I can see. Before installation, check if all the accessories are complete. Due to the products being made of sharp-edged galvanized steel, caution should be taken. Yeah, I didn't bring my gloves out here. I don't like gloves. I'm gonna start wearing gloves though, because I'm wanting to start doing my nails with the gel. They look awful today. I need to clean my paint off. I couldn't find my paint remover, polish remover. But I'm wanting to start, get me a kit and do the gel nails, because I know as much work as I'm doing outside right now, press-ons or glue-ons, just there's no way they're going to stay. So I'm just wanting to get some of the gel polishes. My nails grow really well. They just break really easy. So I'm thinking, if I get some of the gel builder, I think is what it's called, either the brush on or the dip. I did the dip kind years and years and years, like 30 years ago, when I guess maybe it first came out. I don't know. And it was all right. I did it at home. I'm crafty enough for that, but I'm hoping to get some. Oh, I see the screws and stuff. Squirrel. Spin this around. I'm hoping that I can get that and not have to worry about bacteria getting underneath any kind of fake nail and causing an infection. There we go. So I've got to learn how to use the whole UV stuff because I haven't ever done that kind of gel product. It's got anchors, I guess, if you mount it to a wall. That's how I've got to figure out what I'm going to do to mount it in my coop, because it doesn't have solid walls. It's all hardware cloth or chicken wire. So if it's narrow enough, I'm going to mount it right inside the door on the front and then try to rework the roost area. Because I've had this coop built. I built it myself 4 years ago, something like that. There's a video for it. If you go back in there, if you're looking to build a chicken coop, I highly recommend going to Amazon, buying a greenhouse frame, just the frame, not the whole greenhouse, unless you want to then reuse the greenhouse plastic on your coop, which you can do. But you can also just buy frames, because once you put the plastic on, they don't fit back over right. I tried that. I ordered a greenhouse plastic because it was cheaper than that was for this size greenhouse. This was a 12 by 7 by 7, or 12 by 7 by 7. 12 long, 7 wide, 7 high. And it, like I said, doesn't have a cover with it when I ordered it. So I wrapped the bottom with hardware cloth and then covered the top half with chicken wire, because raccoons and dogs can chew through chicken wire like bread. I mean, when they're determined, they can chew through it. And I have had a dog in the past that could chew through chicken wire, and she even could chew through hardware cloth. She was very determined, and she wasn't the brightest dog in the bunch, but when she wanted free out of, if we had her in a kennel, she would figure it out and chew her way out. And she tried to get into my chickens a few times trying to pull on the stuff. So she was here before the chickens were. She's gone now. She passed on of age. But sweet Cassie. Okay. But anyway, I just cover it with tarps. My favorite tarp that I've gotten so far is a clear, it's kind of the whitish greenhouse tarp, or reinforced tarp, where it's got the threads crisscrossed throughout the plastic, and it has held up the best. Because regular tarps dry rot, and so they last maybe a season, and then by the next year, springtime or whatever, you are going to want a new one, because especially when they're rubbing on wire, they will break down, but get holes in them. But this one's held up really well. It's not ripped at all. It's got little holes because of it being on wire that do get poked into it, but I bought it extra big so that it would cover the whole coop. And where it's the clear white, it allows light in but gives them shade, so they're not too hot in the summertime and they're not cold in the winter, because people get overly worried about chickens and cold sometimes, to the point of they will end up burning their chicken coops down, or even their homes if they've got them in garages in the winter, which I know some people live where it gets super duper cold. But I will tell you, the flock that I had previously, because they age out and different things happen, but I almost lost everything. I lost all of my ducks, and then I lost the majority of my older birds to raccoons a couple of years ago. And I mean, they just devastated. And I don't like it when people want to rescue raccoons and rehome them somewhere else, because for one, that's very bad for them. They're overpopulated as it is, and they will devastate people's poultry and waterfowl, and they will just, and gardens. I've had them tear up my garden. If I use eggs in my tomato plants when I plant them, like a lot of people recommend, and I've done before, or if you use fish emulsion fertilizer, raccoons will dig up your plants because they think there's a fish in that hole where that dirt is loose, and they will dig up, literally, like pluck them out of the ground, all of your plants that have fish emulsion on them, and try to find that fish. And I came out last year and found multiple of my tomato plants just yanked out of the ground and holes dug up, and I have no patience for raccoons anymore. I've lost too many chickens, and skunks are a problem too. Possums, not so much. Possums will steal eggs if they can get into your coop, but they're not, most of the time, they're not going to harm any animal. I have learned they're just kind of a nuisance if you do have them, but they would rather get into garbage a lot of times and stuff than to actually try to find their way into your chicken coop if you have a safe chicken coop. I've never found a possum in my chicken coop in 12 years. But I have had skunks. There's some more pieces. I have had skunks to wipe out an entire clutch of chicks that were being sat upon by their broody mama. I have had I believe that same skunk came back. She was the broody mama was a little Cornish, and so she was a small chicken hen. She was my very first broody mama, and I thought I had her secured enough, but that skunk was extremely determined and broke into what I had secured, ate all of the eggs after these were halfway through development. And then I gave her some more eggs to see if she would continue setting. Thought I secured it even better. It somehow got in there and killed her. So I was like, okay, we're not going to do that next time. That's some little loving going on over there right now. Then my last broody hen, she was my speckled Sussex. I only had one. I had bought, I believe it was 4. I bought 3 or 4. And skunk, but I know it's a skunk because they dig. I've seen them in action, digging to get into your coop, your brooder, whatever. They will dig under. They don't try to tear through. They will just dig under. And it killed a bunch of little poults that I had. Little, not poults, but little. They were about 6 weeks old at the time. And it wasn't able to get them all out, and it was just 2 teeth marks. And skunks have that kind of like feline teeth. But I had one survivor that we secured everything with, because that was our first experience with skunks. And we secured everything down. Stuff is just wrapped really well with stepping stones. This is the side of it. Isn't that pretty? And chickens. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they're not even fighting, and that's really odd. I've got set out here and just observed them a whole lot. I've just been out here working, and we've been letting them free range over everything a lot lately. And you don't normally see a rooster let another rooster mate. Should not be TMI too much, but okay. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm beginning to wonder how many nesting boxes this is going to have. 1. This is 2. Look at the picture. Oh, okay, I see. So it's got 4 of those. I thought it would be the middle sections would be solid, but they're not. The middle sections are the chickens as well. This is sharp. I don't want to cut this up. These are 2 more of the sections. So they'll have a little window to say, "Hey, girlfriend, you laying an egg?" "Yeah, I'm laying an egg." "How about?" "Yeah, it's going pretty good." Y'all think I'm silly, don't you, chickens? Mr. Blue. Yeah. They don't all have names, but some of them do. Let's see. And there's some more. Ooh, sorry if that was loud. These are very sharp. Please don't let me cut myself, Lord. I don't need stitches. Okay. There's some flats. 2 pieces. And this is one of the nesting bottoms. And I can tell because it's going to have the slope to it once it's put together. It's got the, see the angle where it's going to be sloped. Oops, there went the screws. They're okay, they're in a bag. So that's going to be the bottom or the middle. Yeah, that's going to be the bottom, I do believe. Tyler would be so upset if I had him out here helping me. He despises styrofoam. I mean, everything about it. The way it feels to touch it. The way it sounds, especially when the squeaking and everything. Okay, and this is the top. I'm just chit-chatting away. This is the pretty red top, and it'll sit on a slope as well, and that way it deters them from trying to sit on it because they want to roost on all the things they're not supposed to roost on at night. And if you don't know, chickens poo more at night than they do during the day. So it can make a royal mess on my current nesting boxes, which are plastic tubs, Rubbermaid tubs. But hey, if all you've got, if all you can afford, like me, is a Rubbermaid tub, they make great nesting boxes. This one has lasted for years and years. It's just a dark green, heavy Rubbermaid tub. I put the straw down in it or shavings down in it, and I've cut a hole like you see with the cat boxes, people that make the cat boxes out of the tubs and stuff. Makes a fantastic nesting box. More than one girl can get in there at one time, and it's great. But if you have a problem with them egg eating, if you don't want them dirty, because I'm hoping I can start like donating mine or helping some people out with some eggs once they get back to laying again, because once they're all laying again, I can get, you know, almost a dozen a day, if not a really good day, having all 12 lay. And with egg prices being what they are right now, I've got one young lady in particular that I've been wanting to help for a long time, and we've just had different issues and I haven't gotten to. But she's the first one I'm going to call once I've got enough eggs. Right now I'm only getting 1 or 2 a day. So I'm hoping with this high protein feed we were talking about earlier, I bought a game bird and I don't know if it's turkey and game bird, something like that feed. It's a 30%. And last night I gave them a good dose of red pepper flakes and Italian seasonings, because those are good for their digestion and gut and deep anti-parasitic. And I meant to put some garlic in it and forgot. I may bring garlic out here for them tonight. I hear you, Blue. You talking to me? You don't know what's going on? But so that, I don't need the top till last. There's my papers. And I guess we start at the bottom. Yep. Confirm the base plate A. Here we go, y'all. What if there's something I could use? Could use my ladder maybe. I've got a pool ladder that I could use like sawhorses. Maybe? Give me a second. Oh, this is not going to work because I'm attached. We'll just go from here. Okay, I don't need that right now. That went way over there. Get our tools out. Oh, I sealed that back up. I should have thought and brought a bowl. And I could have poured these out into a bowl to hold them and make them easier to get into. But we won't worry about that. We start with the base and the dividers. Oh, I've got my cord underneath all these plates. That was real good of me. I used my whole mic cord so that I could have plenty of space, and I laid all of the pieces down on the cord. That was special of me to think to do that. Okay, this is the base. Do I put it this way? Yes. This is going to be interesting with this wind. Thankfully, it's not as bad as it has been, but it's not great. And then we need a chicken part. Are these all the same? Let's see, these are stuck together. Come apart, little chickies. Please don't cut me. These are being a pain in the butt. Why y'all stuck? That's weird. Maybe I will need my knife. It's really weird why these are stuck. Like they're taped, but they're not. And they're not on the bottom. This is really sharp where the chicken. Sorry. Where the chicken cutouts are. How are y'all doing today, anyways? Y'all good? Oh, there it goes. I hope so. Hope you're having a good Easter week. Resurrection week. Resurrection week is what we more refer it to it as. Yay, that worked. Okay. So, 1, 2. So we'll put. We gotta make sure we get them all going the right way, so that the back is the back and the front is the front. So this one would be an end, I'm assuming. Okay. So we need the let's see which size it says. Those are M and N little, okay, these are the ones with the hex head that I'm supposed to use. Hex head? No. That's not a hex head. That's the one. That's the one. One. Bigger and fatter. Okay, two. I really should have. Okay, are the nuts? Okay, and the nuts are all the same size. Okay, so that's good to know. And there's special ones with a lock nut. No. Okay. So 2 nuts, 2 bolts with the hex heads. Let's stick this in my pocket. My bolts. My paper. Okay, there's 3 of one direction and 1 of the other direction. I better make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing here so that my angles are right. So that's the other. That's the outside and the outside and the outside. Nope. Okay. That one goes that way. That one goes that way. Okay. I think we got it going. Y'all have a big dinner on Sunday. We probably won't this year. It's just us. So, money's, you know, how groceries are right now, so. It will probably just be the usual. This is going to be interesting without somebody to help me hold. Like I said, this might not go like I want it to go, and now the wind's going to start blowing too. Isn't that just typical? Oh no, wind. Don't start blowing. We'll figure it out, y'all. Use my head as the brakes with my new hairdo. Now, how the heck's that supposed to work? It's not tight. I think there's supposed to be a washer or something. That one, drop it in the ground. How's that supposed to tighten up on 2 thin sheets of metal? That don't make sense, y'all. Oh, crud. I'll show you what I'm talking about. These that it's saying to use have this big long neck on them. So how's that supposed to tighten up tight and hold it? That's what it's saying to use. M. Oh, no. Wrong. These are M1. I'm supposed to be using a regular M. That makes better sense. Why there's so many of the other things. I dropped one of my nuts. Okay. That makes more sense. Okay. Throw away instructions. I think I can figure it out without the instructions. I mean, it's just like putting something together. But I don't want to lose them anyway. Let's try that again, shall we? Let's put our M in the right place. That one in. Hold it with my head and my finger. Not cut my hand, not cut my face. don't be a pain in the butt. There we go. I wouldn't want to turn there for a minute. Okay, that one's on. This one. As long as the wind stays in my favor, we'll be okay. Bit. Need the other little wrenchy thing, that's what that's for. Okay, put my screwdriver back in my pocket. Ta-da, we have a side. Does it say to 1, 2, 3, 4, like in order? Do this without making a bunch of racket, y'all. Just gonna pour them out on the lid. 2 more. And 2 more. Okay. And we'll do angle. So is it trying to figure out if it's supposed to be this way, and that makes a box, and then holes on the front, holes on the back, angles going the same way. I think that swimming pool ladder would have probably been helpful. One. Come on, little nut. And a bolt. Now, how am I going to get to this one? Cut my cord. I really don't want these getting bent. That would be sad. Ooh, that one went pretty easy. I'll have to tighten everything up once I get to that point. I wonder if it would be easier now with 2. I can stand it. I really don't want to cut myself. Oh, don't crawl out. Around there. Y'all fussing at each other. Okay. Let me go ahead and pause for a minute, and we'll see about getting some pieces done to save on time, because we're already at 43 minutes. Okay, I did a boo-boo. I put my second piece on while y'all were still watching. It was supposed to be on the end. So now I've got it shifted over to the end, and I'm tightening up those. And then the other 2 pieces go in the middle. Have any of y'all thought about getting chickens? Do you have any questions about raising chickens? I've been just trying to cover some of the basic stuff. But, let's see. The long part in the back. Find the hole. They're as hard to take care of as you make it, because they don't have to be really hard It just depends on how much you want to put into like effort. Some people go all out and they have beautiful coops made out of storage buildings because they've got the money to buy a storage building or build a small building. I don't have that kind of money. I put those on upside down. I'll have to switch them. I have to do with what I can, and I wanted it, being here in Tennessee, I wanted it to have circulation for summertime because we can get really hot. Oh, that was the story I didn't finish earlier because I got distracted. And then I'll pause again here in a minute. But we can get, 110, 112, 115 in the summertime and everything. That's not normally a whole lot more than that, but we get pretty hot and it gets very humid. And I wanted something that had really, really good air circulation and plenty of light, because in the winter we can get really cold. We can get down in the negatives. And my flock that I had a few years ago, we had a really bad cold snap, and with some of those polar vortexes and all that stuff. And I had a kind of hard-headed flock, and they wanted to be difficult and sleep in the pine tree over here beside of me that I have. That's stripped out. Why are you stripped out? This one is acting like it's stripped out. But I had the limbs low enough, and the coop was further back into the space. Please ignore my bat wings. I hate my bat wings. I'm hoping to work on that this summer. Anyway, I just saw it waving hi to y'all. So they could get up in the tree limbs because they were lower. They had not been pruned up very high yet. And I was not real thrilled with that. But they loved it. They loved getting up in the tree. And we weren't having, at that time, a lot of problem with raccoon. There we go. So I was just letting them do their thing. And then we had one of those cold snaps hit. They were sitting in the tree at night, sleeping, because I couldn't get them to go to bed in the coop. Snow on their backs. Pretty as you please. No problems whatsoever. People worry about frostbite. I have seen a little bit of that on like combs and things, but it heals. It's not like, if it's down in the super negatives, yeah, I would be more concerned. But I'm telling you what I've seen, what my mother saw growing up with my grandfather's chickens and turkeys. They would fly up in the trees and roost all winter long, back when it would get, super cold, and we didn't have as many warm winters, and it felt weird. So, you can get a big feeder that'll hold a 50-pound bag of feed, and make sure I'm going the right way here. You can put that in with your chickens, and you can get a 5-gallon waterer, and you don't have to mess with water or feed, especially feed, if you don't have a huge flock, for quite a while. Oh, y'all, I've been bragging on y'all about being good about not fighting, and now y'all are over there fighting. Y'all better behave. Somebody will go in the dog crate. That's another tip. If you have an ornery rooster that is being protective of his flock, that's his job. These people that get all bent out of shape because of a rooster doing his job, especially if you've brought him in from a different place and he's taking on his job as new head of the flock, protector of the flock. Now he's gonna, get those backwards again, y'all. Talking and trying to do stuff at the same time. I don't think it would hurt anything. I think they would stay just as good, but oh well, I'll turn them around. But I had one, my very first rooster. His name was Elvis. He was solid black, big black Australorp, and he occasionally, it was not all the time, and that's why I knew it was just a sowing his wild oats thing. I don't know, feeling froggy, as we say around here. And I would have to catch him, and I'd hold him for a few minutes, and I'd talk to him and let him know, hey, I'm boss, you're not boss, I'm not going to hurt anybody, I'm just doing my job, you're doing your job. And then I would put him in a dog crate. I had I guess it's a medium-sized dog crate that he could stand up in. And I would put him in that. And I would leave him in that for a couple of hours, because I was not going to tolerate him trying to come at me and being afraid of my animals. You should have a reverence for them, so to speak, an understanding that, why is that not going in the hole? Oh, it slid. That's why. You know, a respect for animals, because roosters can hurt you, especially if you tend to wear shorts in the summertime. They will, you know, if they're feeling froggy and they feel like you're a threat, maybe you just look different that day and they're not used to it. Maybe you smell a little different that day. I don't know how, you know, I know they can see well because you can know they're watching, but depending on, like, I have a big red coat. They don't like red. They're kind of like a bull, in my opinion. This is just something I have observed. It's not a bright red coat, but it's like a dark red coat, but it's still red. And when I wear that big coat and they, you know, my hood's up and they really can't tell who I am, that's when they've been a little bit more froggy. And I'm like, hey, bud, I'm just here, because I've got one in particular right now. He's one of the younger ones. This is his first fertile summer, spring and summer, because he was born last year and everything. So he's really come of age now. He's ready to breed, and that's why they're fussing a little bit here and there. But they're, for the most part, they're good. But with him, because he just does it every now and then, I will pick him up and hold him, talk to him. I'll rub on him, you know, let him know I'm his friend. I'm not going to hurt him. I'm not going to hurt the girls. I'm just doing my job too. And he'll be good. You know, and then a few days later, he might do it again. But something I have learned is sometimes we can mistake feeling froggy in a different way, if you know what I mean, for aggression. Because I have literally, and this sounds very bizarre, I have literally had my roosters try to court my slogger boots. Yes, you heard me right. They have literally thought they were a chicken. Don't know why. And have tried to do their little dance. Or it's just me, because they see me as one of the flock. I don't know. But they have done their little dance and tried to get on my foot, if you know what I mean. So it's not always aggression, but we take it as aggression, I think, because they're acting weird toward us and coming at us, but they're like, hey baby, what you doing? And you're like, I'm not a chicken. Are you laughing at me, girls? Did you hear me laugh? Chickens can be hilarious. They can be peaceful. Sorry if I'm shaking it. I'm using the table as a prop. They can be peaceful to watch, just to come out here and sit and hang out with them, bring them treats, sit in a chair, and they'll hop up on your legs if you can get them trained to that. That's more if you do a lot of handling, a lot of training with like I said, treats. My very first flock, I did like raisin, some kind of raisin cereal we had, and it had went stale, and so I brought it out and I just sat in a chair with them in the coop, because I had an indoor coop at the time, and I didn't like how how dusty and dark it was. I had to keep electricity on. I didn't have a run built at the time. Now I have it's supposed to be, you can electrify it. It's an electric poultry net that I got from Amazon. I ended up adding some of my garden netting to it to make it higher, and works, great. Hey guys, we have it. Now we can start putting our sides. I think I'm going to leave it like that though, to put the shelves. I think that would be better. What does it say to do next? All of the end dividers are on. It looks like that now. Now I have to put the shelves on. And then the roof, and then the egg catchers go on the front. And then the plates go on the back. Okay, so we're doing good. Put the little shelves on next. Little individual plates in the middle. Sorry about my icky nails. Like I said, working on that. So I'm going to pause and start doing those, and then I'll come back. Okay, guys. I've got 2 of the shelves in. This is the last one. These are a little tricky because you have to link them together. So you have to have 2 loose shelves in at the same time, and kind of. So this is definitely would be easier with more than one person. So if you get one of these, it can be done by yourself. But like I've got the little table that I'm leaning up on, that has made all the difference, because it's kind of helping it stay put while I'm. And they're sturdy, so they're not really going to bend a lot on you. And if they do, the screws will just put them back in place. Okay, so 1, 2 more pieces, and then 2 more for the outside. But yeah, if you want a super fancy coop and fancy chickens, and you want to have them all named and all of that jazz, which sounds lovely and romantic and everything, and everybody wants that. But if you just want chickens so you can have, be a typical, like, old-fashioned farm, raising chickens, letting them be themselves, it's not hard. It's really not hard. I don't know why certain areas, and yesterday I was wondering, because a lot of people get mites in their coops. And I'm wondering if I've never had a mite problem because my coop is open air, basically. It's not wood, it's got very little wood. And maybe it's not the type of environment that mites like, because mites can be a very big, gross problem if you have them with your flock. But like I said, I never have. Trying to get this, I'm wiggling probably, trying to kick this with my foot to make it closer together. For some reason it's not touching. Why are you not touching the shelf? But I have honestly, I was thinking about yesterday, I thought, is that why I've never had a problem with mites because I kept my coop open air for the majority of the time that I've had chickens. Oops, sorry if that was loud. Dropped my screwdriver. Trying to go ahead and tighten this up, see if it makes it fit together right. Sorry, I'm here. I'm ducked down. If I had a better setup, y'all could be seeing me do all of this. But it is what it is. Okay, now let's spin together a little bit better. Got hair in my eyeball. Y'all, I think I'm loving my hair cut off. I've not had it this short in many years. I shared a thing on Facebook the other day of the different times I had my hair this short, and I think it's been probably close to 10 years because I've been growing it and just cutting off a little section here and there at the bottom. And then I'd be like, why'd I cut it off for? I like it really long. And so I'd let it grow back out. All I ever did was ponytails, pigtails, and buns. And I have to be careful where I wear a ponytail or a bun because it gives me a headache because of the fibro affects the tissue in your scalp. And so I'd have to be careful about that because it would give me a headache. And the weight itself sometimes gives me a headache. And I've just been putting it off because I had wanted long hair for a long time. I grew up with long hair for a long time. And I think I had this romantic notion that a man would like me better with long hair, and maybe I could, I needed to have long hair because maybe, I would find a man and he'd be like, I like a woman with long hair, and wouldn't want me. Well, I've not had a man want me anyways. Nobody shows any interest in a mom with special needs kids that are still at home. Most of the time. People don't understand. They just see that my sons are not technically kids anymore. They're my kids, but they're, at home. And eventually, I'm hoping once we have the farm that we have our prayers and dreams and I believe calling for, that they will be in a place that they will be healed and trying to find the whole, that they will be able to have their own apartment on the property or however you want to call it. Tyler really wants to have his workshop for his, come on, how about cut myself? This one's not wanting to cooperate. But he's wanting to have his blacksmith forge and workshop for woodworking, and I don't know why this one's not cooperating. It's like the hole's not cut far enough back. Please don't be messed up. Hold on. Okay, guys. Oh, that was a process. One of the holes that you have to connect this shelf to this shelf with was not lined up properly. So I had to take my screwdriver and try to push it and make it stretch out a little bit. Excuse me, everybody. Excuse me. I hadn't sneezed out here the whole time. Okay. So now, that part's done. Let me get my instructions. I think it's going to be really cute, though. Now it's got fingerprints all over it, but that's okay. It's just for the chicken coop. Now we put on the roof. Little red roof in. Oh, I got all my doohickeys on that. Sorry if that's noisy, y'all. figured the roof would go on last. Here, I'll just put them in the chair here. Okay. Now then, that should be the back for mounting. Okay, you better fit, lid. There we go. Nice and snug. There we go. Back's all the way down. Alrighty. You want to see them real quick? See them all over there? They're like, what are you doing, lady? The trash can is their feed. I keep their feed in that. Keeps the raccoons out. And the rats. Y'all are on camera. One of y'all talk back? Huh? Normally when I do that, they talk back to me. I'll probably do. Okay, let's put y'all back over here. This is a little... Y'all, this is a tripod that came with a telescope for my boys when they were little. Okay, where to do my paper? Which ones do I put in? Okay, there are the M&Ms again. M&Ms. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Okay. Do they go across the front? Front and back. Okay. In my hand at once. I decided to switch places with the table so I could get a hold of what I was needing to do. And that gave me the leverage I needed. Y'all hear all my pretty birds singing? We're wanting to get some bird seed for the songbirds and hopefully attract more. It seemed like while I was not recording, there were no cars. And now that I am recording again, all of the cars are back. Which happens when Blake and I are out here working and we're trying to have a conversation and then a gazillion cars go by. Y'all here in Tennessee, they're supposed to stop doing the chemtrails. That would be amazing. I haven't paid attention today while I've been out here. We still saw some the other day. But they're supposed to be stopping. People still try to say that chemtrails aren't a real thing, and it's like, if they're not a real thing, why are they making a law saying that they're going to stop doing it? I think that theory has been debunked now. Let's see, one more. This is going to be really cute, y'all. I'm excited. I've never had a really nice nesting box. I built my little shelf in my first coop and went to the Dollar Tree and bought little tubs, which works. If y'all got a little wooden shelf, get you some Dollar Tree tubs, little wash tubs, you know, and staple them down to the wood or screw them down to the wood, whatever you've got handy. I had to staple mine. And they made great nests. The chickens didn't care. They were pretty colors. Okay. anything to catch the eggs. I mean, they just want to get into a semi-dark, private place to lay an egg. You know, sometimes you'll have an oddball and she'll be like, I gotta be in super private and nobody knows where my eggs are. And that's just the way some of them are. This is my Temu shirt, y'all. Faith in God changes everything. I hauled it in my Temu video. Okay, now which piece do I need? This is the front, so this will be the egg catching part. So we have to have the ends, what looks like gutters. Okay. This one's probably going to be a tricky part too. It looks like gutters because you got your little end pieces. And then you got your little caps. Those on the ends. I'll scratch up my paint. They're stuck there. So okay. There goes. Is it set? Okay, it goes like this. Oops. Goes on the over the back. Okay, okay, I'm doing it backwards. Doing it backwards. Read your instructions. Read your instructions. Overlaps on the front. And the little shorty piece is the back. So we gotta put this together. Chop my cord in half here. That would not be good. Well, they made these holes. Hey, you. My Tyler's out here. My tallest. This thing's been the dickens. I've been pausing and then restarting because I'm using my app that I can pause. Holy moly. One of them I had to about get mad at and bend the hole to make it fit. This is the egg catching part. Gonna take your walk? Or did you already take your walk?
No, I haven't taken one.
Oh, I didn't think you had.
You know, I can't become an admin on server.
Why?
Because I don't have access to Bohemian account.
What's that?
The Daisy, their main website account stuff.
Oh.
I've got to be able to sign into it so I can actually gain access for an account. Problem is, both my emails I used, and both of them were saying already in use.
On Bohemian?
Yes.
And
it won't let me access them. Like, I just
maybe
created them. Literally just created them. It let me create them. Like,
well, maybe you're typing something wrong. Okay, we're back. Ty's having an issue with some of his gaming stuff. That's what we were talking about. But we'll figure it out like we always do. So he's helping me hold where the eggs will roll into. And some of these holes have been a pain because they're not lining up. Come on, thingy. Go in the hole. So I'm having to stretch them with the screwdriver. That's a chicken. Technically a rooster. I have to keep this. It's a handy little tool. Did that one from this way. Okay, holes. And then they all go. Yep, do all the ones across. Okay, so I don't know how long this thing will let me pause in between stages, so I'm going to go ahead and pause y'all again as we keep going because we're already over an hour. Be right back. Hey guys, still working on it. Working on the next egg catcher part. These lines, these holes not lining up has been a rather pain, and it keeps taking me much longer, so that's why I'm keeping it paused. I'm trying to not make this video, oh my word, that one's super crooked, a whole lot longer than it needs to be, but I do want to finish and show you the finished product, so I'll be back in a few minutes. Hey everybody, I'm back. We're at the finishing line just about. I got to put the lids on the egg catchers where the eggs roll into, and then put the back slats on, and it'll be all done, and I'll show you everything up close. So let me put these on and we'll be right back. Okay everybody, before we lose any more light, I'm going to go ahead and show you what I've got. Hoping I can see good enough in what I'm doing. But this is the pretty red roof. And then they'll go into these. Let's see here. Oh, this is going to be weird. Let me just back up. Okay, they'll go into these compartments, lay their egg, and then it will be angled when we mount it. And then I'll come out and raise this pretty little red shelf. This is what they'll hop up on to get into the nest. I'll raise that, and all of the eggs will be down here in the front part and everything. But it's got 6 compartments, 6 nests. It's really cute. It's been a pain to put together. I've got one more piece to put on, but I was losing light, so I wanted to go ahead and show y'all, and that way I can get my chickens put up and put that last piece on, and then we'll be done. And everything. I've got to put everybody up. Say hi, everybody. That's my little turkin. She's a naked neck, is what most people call them. And then I've got some golden comets and Easter egger mixes and everything. My roosters are pretty much all barnyard mixes at this point. Crossbreeds of Rhode Island Red and different things. But I love being a chicken mama. Yeah. Y'all ready to go to bed? It's dark time. So, I know this has been a long video for putting something together, but I've never done that before. So, excuse the length. I hope if you're thinking about getting chickens or anything that I've been able to help you with that. We will talk again probably when I install it. I will come out and do a video after the fact. I want to do some work inside of the coop and everything, and then I got to figure out how I'm going to hang it. If I'm going to try to make a mount with some wood that I've got around here, or just try to use some wire or twist ties to get it mounted up. Not twist ties, zip ties. Other than that, I guess we're going to say see you later, and y'all have a good evening, and I'll probably get the next one posted tomorrow. Love y'all. Take care. Bye.